So I had the lady was literally like crying because I guess she's been dealing with this for a long time. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, she owes taxes from like 2011. She owes a total of like $67,000.
Okay.
Um, Another situation happened where in 2018, she decided to do her own tax return. She screwed her numbers up royally, to the point where the IRS they didn't correct it. They added in income that she didn't report, but what she reported was wrong. So basically I found out by doing the research that they did not care about what she reported per se. They only cared about what was missing. So they took what was missing and they added it on to what she reported, which was wrong, which brought the income all the way up to like 91,000. Technically, it should have been 69. So I saw that and I said that an amendment has to be done, right? That's for 2018.
Okay.
My problem is her 2011, which is like $22,000, it expires in June. The C said expires in June. So in my mind, I was thinking I'm thinking that based on what she's saying and what I'm seeing, she's recently retired. She only makes like $40,000. Most of it is in pension income. So I was thinking at first that she qualified for an offer, but then I said, I cannot do an offer for her because her CSET expires in June, which is only a few months from now, right? So,
beautiful. I will tell you right there, you're doing everything right. And I'm going to come back to this as she explained this and explain why. Go ahead.
okay, right. So my question was, to be honest, like I'm a TPI fellow and everything, but I don't get the cases enough. So I'm working on getting more cases. But what throws me off is the tolling events. Sometimes it confuses me. So
Okay.
I already know I cannot put in an offer for her. I'm going to screw her over because the CSET expires in June, but it is March. So we're looking at about 3 months. They only let me put the account on hold for 30 days. So here was my strategy. I did an amendment, which I have right here for 2018. So I was just going to say that we're disputing the amount they're saying she owes for 2018, and we're trying to see what happens with that. I have to fax that in because I can't e-file it. And I was hoping that that would blow over for the 3 months.
Yeah, here's what I would go, Paisha.
Okay.
And guys, just as a summary, she brought up that she has a 2011 tax debt. And what was that tax debt in 2011?
So 21,000 out of the 67,000. Oh,
21,000. So 21,000. And so the other one's 40, roughly 40. Okay. So
yeah.
here's what I would do. She keeps on saying CSED, and for Jamie and Jonathan, if you guys don't know what CSED, it's a collection statute expiration date, is when a tax debt will actually expire. And the problem is, and Pavisha brought it up beautifully, if she files an offer in compromise, it stops the date, and they add that. So in other words, that time clock stops, and an offer in compromise right now is taking anywhere from 18 to 24 months. So what would happen if she filed that offer right now? What's going to happen is it gives the IRS an additional 18 to 24 months while this offer is going through. So what I would suggest, based on this balance, the total balance, right? And it sounds like she doesn't make that much money. I would just call the IRS and do on the phone a financials for a currently not collectible. Because the minimum monthly payment on that $21,000, and the way this works, guys,
they want $21,000.
Exactly. So she can't afford to pay $21,000. So actually there's 3 months and she owes 21,000. Divide that by 3 months. Yeah. The minimum monthly payment on that would be $7,000 a month.
Right.
So that would.
But if she files that as an amended return, will that not start that? It extends that CSED date
for 18.
That's a different tax year.
No, that's a different tax year. That's 18.
Oh, okay.
So we're just trying to we're trying to wipe out the $21,000 first. So by doing the financials, get her in a currently not collectible status, you let those 3 months roll over. Bam, bam, bam. It's gone in 3 months. Then you just and she's going to still be on currently not collectible probably for a minimum of a year or two because the IRS is still backed up. Now that gives you time to file an amended return for 18 and let that process through to find out what the final balance is going to be.
Okay, so the CEC won't do the same thing that the OIC is going to do. The
That is
currently non-collectible won't.
It does not toll the date. So,
tell me how do you word it? Because I always get confused with that. Am I saying that it creates a tolling event or it doesn't create a tolling event?
Doing a currently not collectible does not create a tolling event.
Gotcha.
When somebody's on a currently not collectible status, the time clock keeps on ticking. It doesn't
Gotcha.
stop. So that's where I would go with that. Don't worry about the 2018 right now. Just do the financials to get her in a currently not collectible. That gives you that 30-day. They gave you a 30-day hold. So that's your solution right now.
Okay. So even if they put her in CNC and then they don't get back to her for a year or two, some other debt is going to drop off because she has CSEDs for every single year. I mean, she has tax debt for every single year.
Exactly. So I would actually just keep her in CNC as long as possible and let those debts expire.
So you're saying don't even submit the 18?
No, I wouldn't worry about it right now.
That makes sense. That sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing Biosha. This is a classic example of what tax resolution is, guys. This was a great example to kind of end the call. That it's just the strategy to figure out how to deal with the tax debt that a client has that is unable to pay. And what you just saw there was exactly what it was. You know, she knew what the tax debt was for each individual year. And now, based on the knowledge of what we've learned and what you will learn, how to come up with a strategy to best get rid of this debt.
I do want to say that she was crying because she was trying to do all of this stuff by herself. You see how she did 2018 and screwed it up. So she was trying to work with the IRS. I spoke to this lady a year ago, but I refused to do work without getting paid. So of course she tried to get in contact with the IRS and try to do some things herself, and it just did not work out. The IRS is not answering the phone.
What I like about the Dream Team, and I think I've mentioned this several times with Glenn and Andy and a few other folks, is that what's nice about having this group is that you can have a mentoring type process. When I became involved with tax myself, I always thought it would be important to have mentoring, especially when I took over the actual tax practice itself. When I took over the tax practice, I felt it would have been nice to have someone who had similar experience with a business of doing taxes and how to deal with clients and things like that, that would be helpful. In theory, the